Most people quoting a number for how many files you can upload to Claude for free are wrong. Not a little wrong, completely wrong. I pulled up the official limit page, uploaded 20 files in a single chat, pushed past what every blog post claims is the cap, and watched exactly what broke and what didn't. What actually happened is not what you've read anywhere else. Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll know the real ceiling. The one mistake that quietly deletes your uploaded files without any warning, and the single trick that makes your free usage behave like you paid for it. Before we get into it, tap like, drop a comment, and subscribe. It genuinely helps this channel keep testing these things so you don't have to. Here's why this matters more than it sounds like it should. Every week, a new article claims Claude limits free users to 3 uploads a day, or 5 files a month, or some other made-up ceiling. People read that, believe it, and stop using a tool that could actually save them hours because they think they're locked out. Meanwhile, the real limit is completely different, and knowing the real one changes how you work, not just how many files you can drop in a box. So let's build this from the ground up, using only what's confirmed, not forum guesses. Inside a single conversation, you can attach up to 20 files. That's the count. Not 3, not 5, 20. Each individual file can be as large as 500 megabytes. Read that again, because most people assume it's 10 or 30 megabytes, and that number is years out of date. Images can go up to 8,000 by 8,000 pixels, which covers almost any photo or screenshot you'd realistically take. Documents are supported across a wide range of formats: PDF, Word files, CSV, plain text, HTML, EPUB, JSON, and spreadsheet files, once you turn on a specific setting I'll show you in a second. PDFs get special treatment depending on length. Anything up to 100 pages gets full treatment, meaning Claude reads the text and looks at the visuals, the charts, the diagrams, the layout. Once you go past 100 pages, up to 1,000, Claude still reads all the text, but it stops analyzing the visual elements. Past 1,000 pages, the file won't upload at all. That single detail explains a mistake almost everyone makes without realizing it. Here's the mistake, and it's the one thing in this whole video I want you to actually remember. People assume that because the file count is high and the size limit is generous, they can just keep uploading more and more material into one long conversation, and Claude will remember everything perfectly forever. It won't. Here's what really happens. Claude works within something called a context window. Think of it as the total amount of information the model can actively hold in its head during one conversation, measured in units called tokens rather than pages or megabytes.
Every file you upload gets converted into tokens. So does every message you type, and every response Claude gives back to you. That whole pool shares one space. When you fill it up, older material doesn't get rejected with a loud error. It just quietly falls out of view. Picture this real example. You upload a 90-page PDF report first, then a spreadsheet, then 3 more documents later in the same conversation, because you're deep into a project and keep adding source material. By the time you ask a question referencing something from that very first PDF, Claude may no longer have it in view. Not because it forgot how to read, but because the newer files pushed the older content out to make room. You won't get a warning telling you this happened. The answer will just quietly be wrong, missing a detail or vaguely off, and you'll assume Claude made an error, when really the file simply isn't there anymore. This is the single biggest reason people think Claude is bad with documents, when the real issue is how they structured the conversation. Now that you know why that happens, here's how you work around it properly. First, separate reference material from working material. If there's a document you'll need across many conversations, don't keep re-uploading it into fresh chats. Put it inside a project instead. Inside a project, files behave differently. The size limit per file drops to 30 megabytes, but the number of files you can store is effectively unlimited, and they persist across every conversation inside that project rather than disappearing when the chat ends. The catch is the same as before. The total extracted content still has to fit inside the context window when Claude actually answers you. Unlimited storage doesn't mean unlimited attention at once. Second, convert what you can before uploading. A messy spreadsheet with formulas, formatting, and merged cells eats far more of that token budget than a clean CSV holding the same numbers. Strip out what you don't need.
One header row, no decorative formatting, no unused sheets. The same data using a fraction of the space. Third, if you genuinely need Claude to work with spreadsheet files directly rather than converting them, you have to manually turn on code execution and file creation in your account settings first. Without that switched on, XLSX uploads simply won't work, and that trips people up constantly. Fourth, for oversized PDFs, split them logically instead of uploading the whole thing at once. A 400-page manual doesn't need to enter the conversation as one block. Break it into the 2 or 3 chapters actually relevant to your question and upload only those. This does 2 things at once. It keeps you comfortably inside the page thresholds that trigger full visual analysis, and it leaves far more room in the context window for the actual back and forth conversation you're trying to have. Fifth, and this is the part almost nobody does, when a conversation has served its purpose, start a fresh one for the next task, instead of continuing to pile new files onto an already long thread. A long conversation with a dozen files and 40 messages behind it is already using a huge chunk of its available space just holding the history. A new conversation starts clean, with the full window available for whatever you upload next.
That's genuinely close to giving yourself unlimited practical capacity on a free account, not by breaking any rule, just by understanding how the space actually gets used and refusing to waste it on clutter you don't need anymore. Let's walk through what this looks like in practice, using a realistic case. Say you're reviewing a rental agreement, a set of building photos showing damage, and a spreadsheet of repair estimates, and you want one clear answer about what you're owed. Instead of uploading everything you've ever collected about this property into one giant thread, you start fresh. You upload just the lease PDF, the relevant photos, and the cleaned up estimate sheet as a CSV. That's 3 files, comfortably under both the 20-file cap and any realistic token budget. And every piece of it stays fully visible to Claude for the entire conversation, because nothing crowded it out. Compare that to someone who dumps 8 months of email screenshots, 4 different draft leases, and 11 photos into one thread, and then wonders why Claude seems to forget the very first document they shared. Same tool, wildly different outcome, purely because of structure. That structure is the actual skill here, more than any hidden setting or secret workaround. Knowing the real numbers matters. 20 files, up to 500 megabytes each in a chat, 30 megabytes each, but unlimited count in a project. Full visual reading up to 100 pages, text-only reading up to 1,000. But numbers alone don't fix the mistake of overloading one conversation. Managing what's actually in front of Claude at any moment is what separates someone who gets accurate, specific answers from someone who gets vague, half-right ones and blames the model for it. I test new AI deals every week. If a new free method